Welcome to Puro Pinche Sports. I'm your host, Jose Garza, alongside my co-host Arturo Ibarra. What's up, buddy? We are Puro Pinche Sports, and we are live. How you doing today, bro?
What's up, my man? It's a little bit late, but we're here for the fans.
The fans. What's up, guy? What's up? That one guy. Hello.
Just one guy.
Just the one guy. Just the one guy that's really committed to stick through with this with us. Hey guys, thank you for hopping on with us. We actually decided to do this last minute because we had busy days today. For those who are gonna look at the story or listening to us now, whatever on our Instagram page and stuff like that. I was on a wrestling YouTube show earlier, so kind of delayed things here on this part. Art, personal things going on, plus work on top of it. So we had delayed things. Thank you for joining us now. If you are going to join us live, for the people watching it later, what's up? What's up? What's up? Guys, of course, this episode is sponsored by Frankie's Barbershop. Frankie's Barbershop, ladies and gentlemen, you can go get your nice little clean cuts. You can get a nice little taper fade for like Art has, but you can't really see because he has a hat on. You can get a nice high fade like myself. No, but Art, put your hat back on. People can't see you right now, but put your hat back on. Got hat hair. You get a nice high fade like me. You can look nice, clean. Frankie, Mo, all the barbers, they'll take care of you guys. Just go on to 3203 Nacogdoches Road, Suite 100, 78217 here in San Antonio. Local guys. Support them, guys. It'd be amazing to, help out the local barbers, in the area. Let them know Puro Pizza Sports sent you out there. Oh, yeah, you know what? Now that I see you more clearly, it looks a lot better. The hat hair, kind of, but it is what it is. All right. Well, anyways, Art, how you been feeling just overall before we started to the topic? What the heck are you zooming in for?
Nothing. I'm just getting the segue to the next topic. Well, I hope it's the next topic. NBA Finals, whatever it is. But
well, now that you've already brought it up, yes, we are 3 games into the NBA Finals, Arturo Ibarra. We are 3 games in, and the Boston Celtics lead 2-1 right now. A lot of people are rejoicing, seeing the downfall of the Warriors yet again because people just love to see dynasties fall. They don't like to see greatness rise. They want to see fall. You saw LeBron fall, you're going to see the Warriors fall. That's what people want to see. So, Art, give me your thoughts, man, on Celtics Warriors Game 3. What is your feeling right now for the rest of the momentum going on for the rest of the series?
I don't know, man. I think they mean money.
What the?
I don't have a stack of money, so I'm just waiting around those business cards from Frankie's. But anyways, man. Nah, it's a great game. It actually was a great game. I started saying some of those posts of saying, oh, the Dubs, the Warriors couldn't start their training or before their pre-workout because the rim was too high and just kind of making excuses and things like that. So what? Like, they were going to fix the rims. They always check the rims. And it didn't even look like it was that high. It was like...
It was high. All right, come on now. Stop being foolish now. It was high. If you want to do shoot-arounds, what are you going to do shoot-arounds with a high court for? Come on now. You know better. You're a basketball player. I expect better from you. You disgust me.
They should put a double rim on NBA Finals, man. You know how crazy it is to make a basket on a double rim? It's freaking crazy.
Yeah, so you want to just do it for the one game or the one series after all the other games? No, don't.
No, just joking, man. But
get out. You're fine.
No, it was a good game, and Jaylen Brown, Smart, Tatum, and they were all Hofford. They were on the game, Horford. And I think I mispronounced his last name.
Yeah, Horford.
There you go.
Something
else.
Yeah,
I said something, but no, they were playing cohesive, and at the beginning of the series, hearing a lot of commentaries from some of the sports media, they were saying that this series was going to be mainly driven or won by turnovers. So turnovers meaning, shooting the threes and not getting rebounds and everything. So they actually capitalized on that this past game. They were shooting and then they were getting their rebounds. And they were shooting again. They just kept going on, getting those passes out into the three-pointer line, getting some nice passes into the lane. So I think at the end of the day, the demise of the Warriors last game was the fouls. They just fouled out. And this is something that I've told you, before. Like, I think Draymond Green is overrated in the sense of like, oh, he's a great defensive player. Like, nah, like there's a difference between a good defensive player and a guy that just wants to pretend he's a football player and he wants just to like tackle players. Like that's what you're getting kicked out of games. Like the Warriors have a caliber team to just be winning championships, but those little mistakes of getting into their head and it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna be rough and play like I don't care. Like, well, what are you doing? Like, why are they paying you that much money to be fouling out in like not even like preseason or not pre-finals, but like in the finals, you're fouling out over childish fouls that you're taking, like tackling people and all that. But overall, man, at the end of the day, I have to give it to the Celtics. Like they were rebounding, they were playing like a team, they were passing around, and I think at the end of the day, they were just tiring a lot of the Warriors players. I know a lot of people or a lot of the media were saying, the way that Smart was playing against Curry, you can't have Curry both playing offensively and defensively and just being on that one guy because he's just going to be driving down through him. He's going to be tiring him. He's going to be picking at his stamina. So at the end of the day, Curry is going to be tired. He's going to be tired that he's the only one trying to cover this guy and with no help around. But overall, man, I think it was a great game. I believe I called it. I said the Celtics were going to win the first one, Warriors the second game, and then it was going to come home and Celtics were going to win the third game. I'm hoping they win the fourth game and then they win one of the next games, either at the Warriors or they bring it back. But they need to keep that momentum going.
See, I think what a lot of people, like yourself, like you're feeling right now, you think Draymond Green maybe is overrated as a defender. I don't think so. I think he's just being a menace. And unfortunately, I do think he is letting his emotions getting the best of him, exposing himself even more than usual, I would say, because he's always been the guy that is gonna make you want to hit him almost, right? Like he's like, get the fuck out off of me, you just want to like hit, just shove him out the way and do whatever you can to get free because he's a pest, just like Patrick Beverly. They're gonna be all up in your grill. They're gonna make sure that you're uncomfortable as hell. That's his job. That's why they're paying him as much money as they do, because he might be Mr. Triple Singles, but he's making a difference by being a pest. Dude, he's a great mind also on offense. Those passes, the creativity of plays, when Steph doesn't have the ball in his hand, he's the ring general.
The enabler.
He's the one that's making things happen, the playmaker, stuff like that. So you want somebody like that on the court. Now, unfortunately, he's already fouled out twice in these finals, and that's what's hurting them the most, is that what happens when you're the guy that's the motivational, influence for the team, like when he's off the court and stuff like that, outside of Steph or Clay, what happens there? That's what's hurting. It hurts also when he doesn't perform well, even in his other stats. He's not going to make the points as much as the other guys. We know that. That's not what he's there for. He's the ball handler. He's a facilitator. He's going to help you in those areas. The problem is when you foul out as much as you do, you can't do anything. You're not being productive for the team. Isaiah Thomas said it best. OG Isaiah Thomas, not the new generation one. He said, and don't quote me, I'm paraphrasing here, that pretty much those are like grade school scores. Like to go 2 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, stuff like that, whatever he did last night, that he is just putting up baby childish numbers. You can't do that in the finals. That's somewhere else. That's outside of this. That the importance of a finals, especially for a champion like Draymond Green, you're a 3-time champion. Like you should know that they need you more on the court and you need to be in the pest. So he needs to turn it back a little bit more, because while yes, it is annoying for a guy like maybe Grant Williams or Jaylen Brown, whatever he does, all those things, if the refs catch you, and they're catching you now, it's not helping you. And now you're down 1-2 in the series. Warriors, look, and it's not even, and this is what sucks. Did
he get fouled out the first game or the second game? It was the first game, right?
I believe so. I believe he fouled out on the games he's lost. But anyways, like I was saying, Steph Curry's legacy should be set. But we're going to continue having criticism of him because of performances like these. Not by him, because he's balling out. Steph Curry is balling out. You know, if they gave like a consolation award for like the losers, he's the MVP for that team, obviously. But that's not what's going to happen. They need to refocus. The Warriors still are dangerous. We saw even when the Celtics had a 15-point lead at one point, the Warriors came back. They made it threatening again. That could happen in an instant. But what happened? You were disciplined. You were taking care of the ball. And the turnovers is killing you. The turnovers is drastically, like the bad passes. There was a one bounce pass. I think Andrew Wiggins he was trying to get past the player. He threw it right out of bounds. Like, dude, come on. Like, you guys can't do shit like that, especially in a championship caliber team. A lot of props, I'm going to say right now, for Coach Ime Udoka. What he's done with the Celtics in a 1 year's time as a head coach is pretty damn impressive. What he is doing for them. More impressive, in my opinion, than what Brad Stevens did as a head coach. Now, you can talk about Brad Stevens, the front office man. That's a whole different conversation. But as a head coach, he pushed these Celtics past a limit, like a limit breaker that they couldn't get with Stevens. He pushed them past that, and now they're here. They are 2 games away from becoming champions. Now, I'm not worried about the legacy of the Boston Celtics. They're set, right? They'll be, 19-time champions if they win this one? But these players right here, for this, staff, the coaches, the assistant coaches, all them, this will be their first title. This will be huge for them. And so big props to them. But the Warriors are still dangerous. Look out for them to come out balling big in Game 4 tomorrow night. Or Saturday, I think. Or it's tomorrow. Sorry.
It's tomorrow. No, and you're right. Like, it's the Warriors have that finals championship caliber thing where they can just turn things around. But you made the great point about it. Like, if let's say, for example, let's put it on Curry. Like, we know Curry can shoot the threes. He's great offensively and everything. But let's say he decides not to play. He's playing defense the whole offseason and the whole, first 3 games of the finals. Or not the finals, but the whole the bracket. And then on the finals, he just decides to, I'm just going to play offense, not defense. People would be talking about that.
But that's not what he's doing. He's playing defense.
He's playing defense. Of course. That's what I mean.
That's not his biggest criticism, though. His biggest criticism is that he chokes in the finals and he doesn't show up on offense.
But it's not that he chokes. I think at the end of the day is he's the one that's kind of taking that step forward, or that extra step when players like Draymond Green don't take it. And it's not that he's not taking it seriously. It's like he's not taking advantage of the situation in the sense of, hey, I'm in the finals. Just like Isaiah Thomas said, you need to be putting better numbers. Not be thinking, oh, I'm going to be a pest and I'm going to, just what you said, make the other player uncomfortable. And Jaylen Brown picked at Draymond Green the entire game. He was doing that ISO one-on-one, making him get off the he was getting him on an off foot. And we didn't see that on the last game. With Smart, same thing. He only scored 2 points in the second game. He scored 24 points on the third game.
That's right.
So whenever they're getting contained and the Warriors are playing the defense that they should be playing, and all their members are playing cohesively, they're okay. We're on the finals. Let's put up numbers defensively and offensively. The Celtics are shut, and we saw that when the Celtics played against the Heat. But once they start picking at specific players and they're just playing one-on-one, that's where they totally lost it, even though they came back.
Well, a lot of things happen, right? With the foul troubles, there's lack of defensive awareness. Like the one play, like the one where Al Horford, or it looks like they stripped Draymond Green. It looks like it's out on him, but it's really actually Smart. But the Celtics move fast. The freaking Warriors are worried about the refs. Stop worrying about the damn refs. This is a one criticism that's going on right now. We get every generation argues with the refs. You don't stop and talk to the refs while the game is still going on. They haven't blown a whistle. There's not a timeout. You got to go. So when Al Horford gets the ball, fucking throws it, chunks it, Jaylen Brown, easy to.
That's a one bucket.
And you can't do that. You have to stay focused. Steve Kerr's going to get pissed. And look, I picked the Warriors, because that's my betting odds. Hard, I want the Celtics to win. But regardless, I picked the Warriors. So now if I want these Warriors to win, I need them to shut up, step up
And
and
put
don't
up.
play like shit. Nah,
So let me ask you, what do you think of that controversy play whenever I believe it was someone lost the ball. I think they stripped it off of Curry or someone, and all four just jumped over it to get the ball, and apparently Curry got hurt.
Not controversial at all. Everyone's going for the ball. Steph dove for the ball. Al Horford dove for the ball. Everyone's playing. It's not controversial because they're playing for the ball. Did he look like, oh, let me body splash onto his ankles first and then reach for the ball? No. His clear motion was, I'm aiming for the ball. He just happened to get on top of it. That's the game of basketball. You play street ball and you go for the ball down there.
Yep.
There is no mercy. You're gonna go fucking get it. And right now, you have to play with grit. You have to play with grit to become champion. There's levels to this game, and every round you have to pick up to the level of a champion, more and more closer to one. That's what they're doing. They're hustling, bringing the grit. Big props again to the Celtics. They deserve this. But I'm thinking the Warriors tie it up game 4. It's going to be a game 6 for sure. Game 5 is going to be a real huge deciding factor. So let's see how that goes. Any more else on this topic, Art?
Nah, man, it's a great game. I believe we're going to get together tomorrow to watch the game.
Salud.
Either somewhere or here. So
we'll go to your house.
But that's going to be a fun one. I'm excited for that game. Maybe I'll cook some meat. Maybe I'll make a little ribeye and we can watch the game and just eat some ribeye with some beer. I don't know. Surprise me. Maybe we show up with flowers.
I'm not going to show up with flowers. You must be out of your damn mind. That's good. Maybe I'll bring you some queso. Right? Anyways, all right, next topic.
You hear that, Marco? There's going to be queso.
Oh, he was so disappointed poker night when we didn't have queso. Marco, if you're listening, watching.
There may be queso.
You're not invited. Just kidding. All what a douche right now. Love you, brother. He's doing great work right now with his meteorology work. Anyways, transitioning over, Art, we are going to talk about the Rams. What are your thoughts on the Rams? Just re-signing, but extending Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp, and how are you feeling about their momentum pushing forward into this next season? Let me ask you this. Are they repeating or not?
Man, it's going to be hard, though, because there has been a lot of off-season moves per a lot of teams, you know? And, like, for example, I think if you ask me right now, I think Denver has a good chance. Tampa has a good chance. The Chargers, the Chargers, Arizona, the Raiders, the Rams, Baltimore, Cincinnati, San Francisco, Cleveland, if they get out of their head, I don't know, with all these allegations, but Buffalo has a good chance. Like, it's going to be I'm looking forward for the season, and I'm looking forward for fantasy, overall. But I think the Rams have a chance to do a repeat. And I think the Bengals have a chance to repeat also after they upgraded their offensive line. But re-signing Aaron Donald, I mean, that man said, you know what, I'm okay if they don't re-sign it. I'm not looking to make more money.
He was good to retire.
I'm good to retire. I think he's one of those players, you know what, I've done everything I wanted to do in the NFL. I got a ring. I've been Defensive Player of the Year I don't know how many times. So he's like, you know what, I'm good. Let's retire. But if I get a nice little extension or nice little money in the back, hey, I don't mind coming back. And they re-signed him. They extended him. And I am happy for that guy, man. I wish that they would have done that to some other guys. Defensive. And I told you, I think the defensive positions are one of the key players and one of those players that need to get more than some other roles. But then we see Cooper Kupp. That man needed to get paid, and he's had one of the craziest seasons after winning MVP, getting
Offensive Player of the Year,
the Offensive Player of the Year, and then the yards. I believe he broke that record as well.
And to clarify, Super Bowl MVP, just to clarify, Super Bowl MVP, not MVP, because that's Aaron Rodgers, which I argue that he should have been MVP myself. That's just my argument, but go on.
But yeah, they gave it to Aaron Donald because of that last play that he did. I mean, it's not a controversial play. He beat the line. He beat the line and he made that play his, and that's why they won. But man, Cooper Kupp has just been through everything.
If Aaron Donald was a second late, wide open pass from Joe Burrow to Jamar Chase after Jalen Ramsey falling down. Yes. Touchdown, Bengals win. It's so close. Art, you're exactly right. The Rams are doing everything right, paying their men. They're taking care of their guys. They're star athletes that got them to where they're at. And then it's not
Green
just
Bay didn't do that.
No, they didn't. Well, I mean, they tried. To be fair, they did try to keep it at Devontae Adams. He just said, "I'm tired of the cold. I want to go play with my friend."
I think it was Rodgers, dude. I think all that negativity, and we saw that negativity with the Raiders.
We'll save that for another time. We'll save that for another time because that's an Aaron Rodgers talk, and we don't need to talk about him right now. This is not his moment. This is the champ's
This
moment.
is Donald and Cupper's moment. Yep.
Yeah,
right.
this is the champ's moment. So, Aaron Donald, a beast. And what I was trying to say was they didn't just take care of their guys. They take care of their loyal guys. Guys they drafted. Guys that they've kept this whole time playing for their team. You know, they were there, or at least Aaron Donald was. Aaron Donald was there when it was St. Louis Rams, right? You know,
yep.
Cooper Kupp came in over in 2017 at being drafted by the Rams. I've always been impressed with Cooper Kupp, and we already know that a lot of people find Aaron Donald to be the best player in the game today, best NFL player, right? They think he's the best overall. He does amazing things for the defense. And now you can say he's won a championship. So his name is solidified as a Hall of Famer. Maybe not the greatest defender of all time. That's still up for debate, but let's see what Boy can do. You took care of them. Fantastic. I love it. Now you got to go back it up again because we're going to go into the 2022 season. You have a returning Tom Brady who said retired 2 weeks later. Nah, not. You know, you have dangerous teams looking on you from the other side. The entire AFC West is arguably dangerous. NFC West is always going to be a surprise. Whether it's the Niners, if they're healthy, they can be dangerous. The Seattle Seahawks. Oh, wait, no. Russell Wilson's not there anymore. That's a lie.
It's Denver.
They're Arizona Cardinals. If, you know, they can keep the drama in check. Let's see what Kyler Murray can actually do. But, you know, and of course, like Dallas Cowboys will always say, we them boys, it'll be our year. So it's not the year. No, it hasn't been for 25 years.
Nope.
But the Rams are looking to exploit a lot of other teams' weaknesses and I think the only team that can really challenge them in the NFC is the Buccaneers. And it's that they have the star power on both sides. And that's what's going to be a big thing. And I do think that those two teams will meet each other again, the NFC title game. They will go there. The winner will go on to their second Super Bowl in the last 3 years. That's going to be big. I'm happy for them. Now, you texted me a concern. You texted me that, you know, Darrell Henderson Jr. is going to be out for a while because he got a foot injury.
Soft tissue.
Yeah. I'm not too concerned because Cam Akers, who tore his Achilles, came back He's 5 months later. An Achilles, Art, a 12-month injury.
He's going to be the only running back, though, because that other running back that they drafted, he has a broken foot. So he's going to be the one load guy.
They'll draft
he's going to be great. No,
they'll pick up somebody. They'll sign somebody. It's not an issue for me. For me personally. Because if you think about it, oh, God, no, he's poor guy.
He's out.
Because
poor guy, man.
If you think about it again, they don't need to ask of Cam Akers as much as what they're going to ask from Cooper Kupp, from Allen Robinson, from Tyler Higbee, because there are points where you can still play Cooper Kupp as your wide receiver, running back. You could ask him to do that same thing that, you know, the Niners asked Deebo Samuel. So they will find a way. Sean McVay will find a way to make it work. So I'm not concerned about them.
No, and I think with the signing of Allen Robinson and then the re-signing the extension of Cooper Kupp, then you have Higbee, you have Vance Jefferson. So I think you're good. They're good. I don't think it's a concern. And a lot of people said it was a concern. I just said it, hey, what do you think? Like, how do you think this is going to play out? I think Henderson's fine. I think he plays. He's going to be the running back 2 of that team. This other guy with a broken foot, they're saying that he may be back mid-season. But Cam Akers didn't look bad at the end
he looked great.
of the season. He looked good after coming back after that injury. And we saw that with Cooper Kupp. Cooper Cup had his down year, but he came back and made that. He's like,
ACO
this
in 2019,
ACO,
if y'all
exactly. This
forgot.
ACO is my bitch. Like, I'm going to make this my bitch. And I'm going to show everyone that I'm not done playing football. I'm not done being the type of weapon that I can be for a team. And it was great. I mean, I'm hoping that, like there was a lot of other players that got ACL tears, and I hope they do the same thing. I hope they use Cooper Cup as, like if he did it, why can't I?
Doctors have done a very good job of taking care of ACL tears. I mean, we saw it tremendously with someone like all day Adrian Peterson. The way that he tore his ACL for a running back, and then came out the next year and won the MVP for the league, and he broke records. You look at, like you mentioned with Cooper Cup, he did the Triple Crown. That's what he did with this season, the most like catches, season, stuff like that. He did it all, and this is after having a slump year in 2020. But then again, you have a Jared Goff as your quarterback at the time. So it's a big change, and you could really see, like, you notice, Art. You notice that you can have possibly a really good wide receiver, but you just had the wrong quarterback for him.
Yep.
Right? We're going to see that with Allen Robinson this year. He's had bad quarterbacks. He finally has someone he can trust. Allen Robinson is going to explode. So if you want
I love it. I love the QB play behind him. But you know what else I love better than the QB? The coach. The coach is going to know what to do with Allen Robinson. And yes, he was with the Jags, and he's always put great. Like, if I'm looking at the fantasy value of him, like, he's always put great fantasy points behind the Jags, and he was behind a bad QB. He was with the Bears. They weren't even better than the Jags QBs. Last year, he had a great QB on it, but they benched him. They decided to play him, I don't know, like 6 games. I think he only played 6 games or 10 games. I don't know how many Justin Fields he actually ended up playing full games. But they literally took Allen Robinson out of the whole offensive plan. Was it the franchise tag? Was it not the franchise tag? Was he going to it was just a bad situation for Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson deserved an extension, first of all. I think he should have stayed with the Bears. I think the Bears should have paid him. However,
bad front office.
They needed to rebuild that. I mean, the whole franchise for the Bears had to rebuild. And I'm glad that Allen Robinson landed in a situation with the Rams where they're taking care of their players. Now, with this signing of Cooper Cup, do you think Odell Beckham gets signed back? Either a 1-year deal?
No, I don't. Odell Beckham. I won't rule it out that it won't happen. I think maybe an injury somewhere is going to require it. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because Odell is coming off his own ACL tear. He tore it in February. That's when the Super Bowl happened. His recovery won't be until November. So he's going to be that late signing by a team, a playoff contending team, because he's not going to go anywhere else. That's why he hasn't really signed anywhere. 1, because teams aren't probably offering as much as he probably would like. But 2, he doesn't need to. He might have an opportunity to go back to the Super Bowl again. He's just weighing his options. Now, of course, I think he played great behind Matthew Stafford. But then you add the same issue that I had before when you added OBJ with the wide receivers of the Rams. Cup, now Robinson and OBJ. That's, in a lot of ways, that's 3 wide receiver ones that you need to feed the ball out to. That's tough. You had Woods before instead of Robinson there, but now it's still going to be the same thing. Now, not thankfully, but somehow, lucky for him, Woods got hurt and allowed him to shine more.
Right after his signing too, man.
Right. And who knows? They might have re-signed him right away because they knew Woods was hurt and stuff like that. So Boy just heard it later on. But anyways, I do think the Rams are going to be in title contention. I'm a big believer of there's not going to be another repeat in a long time. So I don't have the Rams going back to the Super Bowl, but I think whoever they step up in their way, you better step up to play them because they're going to hurt you. And that they're going to hurt you a lot. So they're on both sides. And plus, we're also forgetting they got Bobby Wagner after Seattle cut him. So that's another defensive piece that's going to hurt their opponents down the line. Thank goodness the Patriots don't have them this year, I think. So I can breathe a little bit. But anyways, Art, any final thoughts on this segment?
No, I think it's great. We're not killing my child. We're not. She's just tired. You can hear in the background, but as a father,
I know. You heard my son last week, or not last week, was it Monday? He was queuing me out with his screaming. So, guys, we'll move on from that. Well, we hope that, baby Ibarra is not being tortured, in front of our eyes. You've seen Stranger Things, people. You know what I'm talking about. Anyways, moving on, Art. We're going to stick to football. And I think this is going to be one of the more tougher things to talk about, per se, maybe because it's unfortunate situations that we just don't really want to deal with, as far as like people like realizing how bad things can be. Now, unfortunately, things are going bad. The Cleveland Browns traded for Deshaun Watson. They signed him to a guaranteed deal, the highest in the league, and he has yet to play an ounce of football since the 2020 season. He's had sexual misconduct allegations brought upon him since after that season. And now we're going to see, more coming on forward. There's the 24th, allegation out there. Plus, there's this conspiracy people that now it's not even a conspiracy. The people are revealing the Texans not essentially knew what he was doing, but they were assigning hotel rooms for him for these massage therapies, asking the masseuses to sign non-disclosure agreements. And so, Art, for whatever you can say right now, what are your thoughts on the fact that now the Texans are being added to these allegations? And now what does this really mean for the future for Deshaun Watson and Browns and everyone involved?
It's a crazy subject because, at the beginning of it, after they say, like nothing happened, they waived some of those.
They didn't find sufficient evidence.
Yeah, they didn't find the sufficient evidence, and they were like, "Oh, nothing happened." Not that nothing happened, but like they just didn't find the evidence of it. It's kind of hard to pinpoint where the problem was or who the investigator was on all of this. But now that, and yet again, it's crazy to see that, okay, all this hype happened, like, oh, he's gonna get to play again. The Browns are gonna do great. They signed Amari Cooper.
He's still practicing. He's still showing up for practices.
Yeah, there's still like he's practicing and everything. It's kind of crazy in the sense of like now that all this is coming up, like, oh, Deshaun Watson's gonna play, like right after the signing, bam, one more person, bam, two more persons. This week, the whole thing with the Texans, like everything just unraveled, and it kind of makes you think in the sense of like, did the Texans say, oh shit, like, should we just let him go and have someone else deal with it? Like, what is going to happen with the NFL in the sense of like, if the Texans were allegedly they knew that this was going to happen and they made this happen, not that they made this happen, but they allowed this to happen. Does that trade get null in the sense of like they knew that this was going to happen? They still traded like, oh yeah, hey, let's trade. Like, it's not our issue anymore. We got our trades. We don't have to deal with them. Like, is the NFL going to step in and say, you know what? The fact that now you're part of those countersuits and saying, hey, you enabled this to happen, we're going to make you accountable for that. Like, is the NFL going to do that? That would be interesting to see. But in the sense of like the whole Deshaun Watson thing, like, I don't think, has he said anything lately? Or has he like responded to any of these
said on like
the new ones?
I think he put like a maybe a quote or lyrics on his Instagram story and saying something about, the truth will reveal itself, something to that matter. I'm not really sure exactly what it said, but he's pretty much still denying it. He's still defending himself, saying that these things did not happen. And of course, he's gonna say that. You don't expect anything different, right? He's not really gonna be out there like, oh yeah, I did do it. Now the problem with, on top of a lot of things he did, I think he did a few like interviews or stuff like that where he did mention some things where like, not to sound like crude or anything, he got a rise out of it, and he saw the masseuse like, kind of upset by it or whatever. So he texted her, "Hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable." That's what he said, and then the allegations again started coming out even more and stuff like that. It's like he's just putting himself maybe in a situation that he didn't mean, but he probably just in a sense in his mind that he's like, I didn't mean anything by it. Like the way he's portraying it, he's not telling us like, oh, I did it for show. He's just
and I think that's where it kind of gets kind of tricky, like, and I understand like I'm not saying it's okay for him to do that. If he did do it, it is not okay for him to treat those masseuses that way because it's a professional job. At the end of the day, it's being professional and everything. Same way that he would want to be respected as a football player in his professional career. These people want to be respected in their professional work.
But what about the Texans asking these women, all the Muslims, the multiple? Because remember, it's again at this point, it's like 66 women, non-disclosure agreements for them to sign. Like, hey, you can't reveal what's going on and shit like that. Like, why do you really need to do that? As far as to like, I'm not a lawyer or anything, but why are you asking them to do that just for him to go get a massage if that's all it is?
I think the reason why the Texans did this is and yet again, I don't know if every team does this, but I think ideally it would be something for all teams to do. And I'm not saying in the sense of like, oh yeah, you need to sign a non-disclosure that you're given. No, like, if you think about it, like if you put yourself in the place of a professional athlete, no, just a professional athlete.
Okay.
If you go to just a random masseuse, like your body is getting hit and it's sore by everything.
Right.
You just need to relieve that tension from your back, from the hits, from whatever area in your body that you use to play football. If you go anywhere, and let's just, for example, like you go randomly to a pop and mom shop down the corner. What tells you that the person that's giving the massage is not going to take that or use that to their advantage? And say, oh, you know what? Like, yeah, I gave, I don't know, so-and-so a massage and I don't know, he didn't tip me. So I'm going to say that he molested or he wanted to do something or he asked for a happy ending. Like some of the reports are saying that some of these guys did.
Right. Or he did.
Exactly. So it's like, did it happen or did it not happen? And it's you can't put yourself in the shoes of one or the other. You can't like play the devil's advocate on it.
I can understand.
Think that's what Texans did. I think they did it as a let's protect our players
as a safety net.
Sense of as a safety net of if for some reason Deshaun Watson's having a bad day and he decides to they touch him wrong on his back and he gets pissed off and he blows up and then the lady gets scared or not scared but he walks off the massage and he doesn't tip them, so they don't do something like this. Maybe that's why they did it. Yet again, we don't know why they did it. They're just probably being safe for multiple reasons.
And I was going to mention because since I am a Patriots fan, we did have that little issue a few years back, not that long ago. No.
Was it
Robert Kraft? Robert Kraft.
My bad.
He flew down to Florida. I think the story is, and correct me if I'm wrong on the comments, guys. If you're wherever, I believe he went down multiple times, and he got himself a happy ending. And I think they caught him in the scandal. I think he was able to get that settled. No jail time because I don't think he meant any or however the issue was, he didn't mean anything bad by it. I think his wife had just recently passed not that long after. So who knows? I'm not no excuses, right? Whatever shit that goes down, no sexual misconduct should be happening. Simple as that. Whatever is going on, I hope this gets resolved. I hope justice is served for the innocent, for the guilty parties, whoever it is, whether it's the women lying or it's Deshaun Watson, etc. I can't really give you what I think is opinion for it as far as who I think it is or whatever, because honestly, that's just me saying shit that I just don't know. And that's not what we're here for. We're just wanting to talk about how this affects the teams moving forward. Before we move on, is this why the Browns have yet to move on from Baker Mayfield?
Even if they decide to move on or Baker plays, I don't think Baker's going to play for the Browns. After they didn't like this and all of this, I don't think Baker's going to play. Whether Deshaun decides to play or not play because of the allegations or the NFL lets him play, I don't think Baker's going to play, whether he's under contract or not. I think he's just going to sit down.
Until he's
just because of the disrespect. And just like you said, we're not here to kind of say, oh, my point of view is like, oh yeah, like he should have gotten a happy ending, or no, he shouldn't. That's wrong. Like, no, it's you have to like. I think everyone should put themselves on each other person's shoes. Like I don't think Deshaun Watson did it out of malice in the sense of like from his comment. Like we're all human, whether it's a man or a woman, or depending on your sexual orientation, whatever it is. Like it's a massage. There's nerves in your body that like they can touch you on your neck and you're like, oh dang, like something happened. It triggers something. It's not like, and he apologized at the end of the day, but it could happen to anyone. Now, the crazy thing is that there is multiple allegations, more than 20 allegations saying, oh, this happened. Now, do we know if any of them are true? Do we not know of any of them? And I think it's crazy that all of these allegations are happening after we just saw the whole case with Amber and Johnny Depp, and then like all these people tying themselves to the post and saying, showing up at Met Galas and doing all this protest about like my body, my choice, Bob, and all this. It's kind of crazy to see all this topic create a big wave out of people. And
indirectly, may you say?
Yeah, indirectly. At the end of the day, it's indirectly. Directly. But
we're having.
It's a wave that's gonna come in and say, like we all want to be respect. At the end of the day, I think we should all put each other's on other people's shoes, and at the end of the day, it's respect that we have for each other. So, but going back to the whole Baker Mayfield, I don't think he plays with the Browns. I think he's just gonna sit down. I think he may even end up going to Carolina. I know that's a lot of the rumors, but I think it's most likely for Jimmy Garoppolo to get released and then him finding another team than the Browns releasing Baker.
At this point, Art, on June 9th, 2022, do you see Deshaun Watson playing at all this upcoming season? Do you think the NFL will allow them to? Or until he's free from the allegations or wherever the issue is?
Truthfully and honestly, man, I think they should let Deshaun Watson play. The only reason I'm saying that is because he spent a whole season not playing because of allegations that at the end of the season got thrown out because of insufficient evidence. I think the NFL should allow Deshaun Watson to play. If more allegations actually come through and there's more evidence, then it's like, you know what? You're suspended, period. And we've seen that with a lot of players. But yet again, if they let him play under these allegations, they should allow Ridley to get down his sentence on, oh, you can't play for a whole season because of gambling. I think those two don't match together.
He's talking about Atlanta Falcons, Calvin Ridley, people, in case you're wondering who he's talking about. So I agree. I still think the Calvin Ridley thing is the stupidest thing in the world. It's just the fact that he bet one game, which is not very small fortune.
And comparing to this and the allegation that you're getting for that.
Yeah, if Deshaun Watson plays and you don't let Calvin Ridley, that really shows where you're putting your preferences on and who you value the most, honestly. But anyways, I do think that he should. I'm opposite of you, actually. I don't think he should be allowed to play because, one, now you're involving a team, an organization like the Texans, into this possible scandal. I think they're going to get hit with a big fine because they're for something. And the NFL, they'll just fine you because whatever. Look at Calvin Ridley. He's a perfect example that he's getting punished for something so insignificant. Not to say what the Texans did is probably insignificant, but like you said, they're just probably trying to protect their players' ass and their own ass after a lot of other things going on right now. But personally, no, man. I think Deshaun Watson should not be allowed to play. He's only going to get paid $1 million this season, and then the following seasons he'll be getting paid $46 million if he does play. But I think it's just hurting overall. Like, you have to try to get this settled down. If I get it, innocent until proven guilty, right? He hasn't been proven guilty of anything yet because, like you said, insufficient evidence. But at this point, you can't allow him to step on the field while you're punishing other people for smaller things. That's just my opinion on the matter. But I think we're good with that. Art for the Browns, Deshaun, and Texans topic. Do you have anything else you want to add before we move on to the final topic?
No, man, we can do it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this Saturday, we are going to have UFC 275 in Singapore. The main event involves the UFC light heavyweight champion Glover Teixeira defending his championship against the up-and-coming, the rising Yuri Prochaska. Art, we're looking at a champion in his 40s who has made a surge to, increase his reputation, his value, to become the champion, to get into the position he is now. But he's facing a young, dangerous fighter who can literally, and not to sound literally about this, he can kill you in an instant. And I'm talking about Yuri. Art, what are your thoughts on these fights that are going to happen this Saturday? We'll start with the main event.
Man, I'm just looking at the poster right now from Teixeira and Prochaska. Like, Prochaska just have he has a mean stare. It's not even like his face. It's just like he looks.
It looks like he wants to take your soul,
and
he don't give a fuck. Like, I'm gonna take it.
He's going to man. Some of his knockouts, they're not like knockouts that he plans. They're just.
My knockout of the year, spinning back elbow right into Dominic Reyes, and it's just crazy. You just don't see it coming. You're absolutely right.
It's crazy the power that he has behind those unorthodox knockouts. Yes, you can get knocked out from an elbow to the face. I'm not saying you can't, but
I get knocked
out. The way that he just turns around and so freely, he's like, you know what, bam, all that power. It's just like Conor McGregor's whenever he was doing that shoulder tap. It's the power that they put to those little movements without. It's like they're not caring about the movement. They're just all right, I'm just going to put all the power that I have to this shoulder or to this elbow or not even their fist. It just goes on and on. But he's an up and coming fighter, man, that a lot of people love to see fight. He keeps them entertaining. And I think this is going to be a great fight. It's going to keep a lot of people on their toes. I do think that it's going to be one of those fights that it's just, I don't think it's going to last the 5 rounds. I think it's going to go at the most 3. I think he gets a knockout at 2.
I'm gonna call knockout second round. I'm gonna say Yuri Prochaska, new champion, because I just see him too dangerous. I wouldn't even be surprised if he does it in the first round. That's just crazy. You gotta imagine how crazy it is that Yuri Prochaska is at the level that he's at now, getting this title shot. Yes, he's on a 12-fight win streak, but he is also only in his 3rd UFC fight getting a title shot. That is madness. That isn't saying we won't really get to see that much often anymore. We did see with Michael Chandler coming in, but he's had a history with Bellator. This is more like Yuri had it with Ryzen. But honestly, I don't really have much more to talk about that fight. I think Glover is going to have to use his wrestling and other attributes to try to slow down Yuri to be able to retain the title. But that's all I can really see him try to do. I don't even see him really succeeding. Art, next fight, co-main event for the women's flyweight title. The champion, undisputed, best woman in the fight game right now, Valentina Shevchenko, defending her title against Talia Santos. Really, is there really anything we need to talk about? Valentina retains. Why are we even discussing this? Go on.
No, you're right. I think she's gonna retain it. I don't think there's any question in that. I believe they're trying to make it an interesting fight or whatever you want to call it, but it's man.
Valentina wins. Let's move on.
There's not a lot to talk about. But who did she? And she's fought against her. She's fought against her already in December 8, 2018, and she won.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she won.
Who are you talking
Shevchenko
about?
against Jurzeksik.
That's not the title fight.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, she's fought against your Sextic before, and she's won that fight.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. That's not the fight she's fighting, so it's not what you're worried about.
No, I know. Like, but she's fought her before. She's won that one. But man, like, I'm looking at her win record, and it's like win, 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 win.
She's unstoppable. Honestly, there's nothing you can do with Valentina. All right, let's talk about the third fight because, like I said, there's really not much to really say about Valentina. She's a beast. She's the GOAT in the women's division right now. Simple as that. Now, this is a rematch. Zhang Weili versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. This is a rematch from 2019, the Battle of the Hematomas, the best fight of the year. No, 2020, sorry. I had 2019 on mine because that's the last time Joanna won a fight. Now, this is going to be a rematch of that, but it's only going to be 3 rounds. Art, do you see this to be another war like it was last time, or what do you see this being?
So I actually messed up, man. So Valentina has beat Joanna. My bad. She has not beat Santos. I don't believe she's fought. Has she fought Santos before? I don't think I saw it on that list, but
no. She hasn't.
Yeah, I looked at the wrong person. My bad, guys. I think I'm live by myself.
No, you're good. I gotta get something real quick. Go. I'm listening.
Nah, I'm just joking, guys. I don't know, man. I think this is gonna be one of those fights that just it's not that it's gonna be a boring fight. Zhang Weili, I think she needs to prove herself after the last fight that she had, and she needs to cement her number 2 spot. I believe that if Joanna wins, I think she gets a title fight, doesn't she?
No. Well, so the winner of this fight gets a title shot for the flyweight title against Carla Esparza, which I disagree. I don't think they should be doing that. That's just my opinion because Joanna is coming off a loss and she hasn't fought since 2020. Zhang Weili has lost her last 2 fights against Rose Namajunas. So
I think Namajunas should get her title back. Her rematch should be.
She's 0-2 against Carla, so it's just like they're just throwing out shit for no freaking reason, to be honest with you.
But the only reason why she lost was like, and I mean, I think she made a good point about it. And I know she's not in this fight card, but she was playing defensively. Like, yes, it was her fault she lost. She was playing defensively. We had not seen that side of her, but I think she should get her title shot back. And then
she might. If let's say one of these women win, right? They're both incredible strikers. They're both nasty. Zhang Weili's wrestling has improved tremendously since working with Henry Cejudo. So we might see the winner of this fight beat Carla Esparza, and then Rose Namajunas can get a rematch because she has 2 wins over both these women. But the problem is she's 0-2 against Carla Esparza now. That's the tough part on Rose. She hasn't won a freaking round. That's the problem. Like and people, like, bro, it was so boring. I didn't. You know how we watched Canelo?
It was a boring
we watched like the first time in November, I think it was
against
Canelo and Rose's fight at the same time. We would actually look up and down. I didn't look at freaking Rose's fight at all this time.
No, I agree with you on that.
So just because she maybe does, is owed a title shot, you don't have to give it to her. You just don't have to. I mean, that's just me personally. So that's what I think. She's 0-2. Like, beat Carla. Do something. Yeah,
we'll see. I mean, I think
who knows? Maybe she moves up to the flyweight division and she challenges Valentina. Rose versus Valentina.
That would be a good one. That would be a good one.
Yeah. You didn't see that.
I would actually pay for that one.
Yeah. Oh, shut up. Right.
Anyways,
well, so who do you got in this fight? Weili or Joanna?
I think Weili gets it.
Wins the rematch.
Yeah.
Let's give it. I'm gonna go with Joanna. She's gotten less beat down than Zhang has been, so let's just go with that. I'm gonna go with Joanna. All right, Art. Any other final thoughts you have before we wrap up this episode?
I am good, man.
Share your plugs with the people, my friend. Share them.
Y'all can find me at @A_Ibarra Design. I finally memorized it, guys, just for y'all.
Good job,
y'all
brother.
can find me there, man. Y'all can ask any about design questions, anything about architecture, any ideas you guys want to do on your backyard, man. Like, I'm actually getting ready to finalize the interior of my house so I can move up to the outside. I'm thinking
That's
about
right.
doing a new fence, new pergola around it, some fire area, some cooking, some kitchen. So that's a nice little project that's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
You guys are going to be seeing some pictures on Instagram saying of how the process goes. But if you guys have any questions, let me know, man. You guys see the bar there? That was actually a fun little project that I've done. So just let me know. Hit us up.
Looks clean. Hit them up, guys. Guys, so don't forget we are sponsored this episode by Frankie's Barbershop. Find them down at 3203 Natchitoches Road. You have a hairstyle you want, they will give it to you. They will make you look good. Children, men, women, all the above. You name it, they will make you look good. Find them, guys. As for Frankie, as for Mo, tell them Poodle Beach Sports sent you. And guys, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Poodle Beach Sports. Follow us on Twitter at Beach Sports Pod. For Arturo Ibarra, I am Jose Garza. We are Poodle Beach Sports, guys, and we are out.